start us back off, we have Team Asynchrosaurus with their app, Carbontrack. Take it away.
I'll just quickly introduce the team, Asynchrosaurus, which, by the way, were an absolute joy to work with. We've overcome some really tough hurdles recently, and everyone pulled together really well. It was an absolute joy to work with them. So, without further ado, the wonderful Matt Bush, the illustrious Tom Platt, the magnificent Jatinder Singh, and me. Quick overview of the project. We created a phone app which will track the user's chosen mode of transport, calculate the route that they're taking, and record how much CO2 emissions that trip will produce. They can also join or create other groups and compare with friends or colleagues. The app is called Carbontrack, and it's aimed at the growing number of people who are conscientious of their carbon footprint and would like to track their contributions and take action to reduce their emissions. As regards the problem this app can solve, it attempts to entice people to reconsider their usual mode of transport so as to help lower emissions. The hope is that when the number of people who use the app grows, some healthy competition can compel them to take further steps to reduce their contribution. And the inspiration came from, obviously, climate change is a massive issue facing the planet right now. Hopefully this app can go a small way to increasing awareness around this important topic and getting people involved in the push for better climate action. I'll hand it over now to Matt to do a demo of Carbontrack.
Thanks, Colin. So first of all, we'll sign in and authenticate with Cognito. If we press play. So we'll sign in and authenticate with Amazon Cognito. Next up, we'll enter our vehicle registration. This will be looked up in the DynamoDB database. If we click search, we'll get some vehicle information as well as the emissions produced. So let's add this to our Dynamo database. On the group page, you can create, join, or ride solo, but here we'll just create a group for now. Next up, this will take you to our homepage where you can track a journey, view user activity, and see offsetting solutions, but we'll go see our user profile. On your profile, you can see your stats, but at the moment we don't have any group stats, so let's go ahead and join a group. So we'll go back to the start. Here again, at the vehicle registration page, we have some simple error handling to prompt the user of an invalid input. So if we re-put in an invalid reg, our vehicle information will come back up and we can click add. Now to join a group, simply enter a code and the group name. So here we'll go join Green Dyno. And once we've done this, we'll get to the home page and navigate through to the profile, and we'll then see our group stats rendering. So now it's time to go track a journey. Here we enter to and from locations and use the Google Maps API to show the route. The emissions are calculated based on the user's vehicle and distance traveled. Selecting different travel options will recalculate the emissions and show any saved emissions at the bottom. So we'll click through bicycle. We can walk. But let's go for the bus. And hooray, save 200 grams of CO2. So let's click track, put this into our profile. You can see the stats have updated, and we've also got our group stats there as well. Lastly, with the offsetting page, this provides information on current carbon offsetting initiatives, which you can click the buttons to find out more. That concludes the demo, and I'll now pass on to Tom, who will talk you through our tech stack.
Thanks, Matt. These are our tech choices. For front end, we went with React Native because it's well documented, gives a good developer experience, and we wanted to challenge ourselves in building a mobile app. With this, we went with TypeScript for its type safety and to make debugging a little easier. And we also used Expo Go and Xcode to test and record the app during development. Expo Go especially was great for quickly loading the app onto your mobile, just to see what changes you made or the effect that the changes you made had. For backend, we use AWS Amplify because it provides a framework for linking together loads of different AWS services and hosted our database. This simplified integrating AWS Cognito, which we use for authentication, with AWS DynamoDB, our database. Cognito was an easy choice. It creates a specific user pool that you can assign necessary database permissions to, and it links with AWS IAM, which allows multiple team members to collaborate on the same project. And DynamoDB, we wanted a NoSQL database because its schemaless design allows us to have complete control over individual users, how their data is stored, and how it looks in the database. We also made use of Axios and a couple of APIs, specifically the Google Maps API to render the map and the journey polyline, and the DVLA API so the user can get the emissions per kilometer for their own car. A lot of this was new to us. A lot of this technology was new. In the front end, TypeScript and React Native had their own idiosyncrasies that expand on our knowledge of JavaScript and React. And in the back end, AWS was completely new. And it was a lot of trial and error to feel our way through the development step by step. But that's pretty much it. On to Jatinder, who's going to talk about some of the challenges we had in our development cycle.
Thank you, Tom. Hello. Now I'd like to take you through some of the challenges faced by our team. In our project, choosing to pick most of the tech that we had not used before was always going to be challenging. But this collective decision was made with the aim of getting best features for our app. First couple of days into the project, doubt did set in if we had attempted to chew more than we could bite. However, our focus on working through sprints, daily stand-ups, and a pure teamwork helped us into turning this around. Of some of the specific impediments that come to my mind were AWS Amplify. Now, this really did amplify our challenges. Getting authentication right through Cognito was important. However, the volume of documentation that AWS provides is huge, and sifting through it for the needed information was costly given the time constraint. For tracking the journey of carbon offset, Google Maps API seemed to be the best choice. But who knew? Getting the polylines right would make us run around in lines. For those unfamiliar with polylines, these are lines you see for directions when you use Google Maps. Information about this is given out in large JSON data responses by the API, but very little documentation. Going through all the data response did take time, and at the end, we were able to render not one, but 4 different polylines on the same map. React Native and mobile testing, especially mobile testing. This was very new for us, and we had decided to rely on Expo and Xcode simulators for live testing. Now, these proved to be erratic at times. Repetitive testing was necessary whenever we integrated components or made changes. Given the chance again, I think we would choose a testing tool and a script for applying the same through automation testing. Though given these challenges, I would say journey of learning through this project has been fun. I would also like to end with saying, please track and reduce your carbon footprint. Our world needs it. Thank you for going through our presentation. We'll take questions now if you have any. Thank you.